neck pain, soreness at the base of the skull, headaches, tension between the shoulder blades, numbness and tingling down into the arms, and weakness in the arms are all symptoms that can come from forward head posture. If this is you or someone you know, you're absolutely not alone, because this is a big problem that people suffer from on a daily basis, and I'm here to help you. In this video, I'm going to share with you consequences of having a forward head posture, as well as solutions and tips to help you in your healing. So sit tight, we're about to get started. I'm Dr. Kevin from Snelgrove Chiropractic in Barrie, Ontario, Canada. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe to our channel, click the notifications bell as well, and that way you won't miss this video and you'll have access to the other videos that we have in our library. So neck, it's an issue that I see every single day in practice. And I've been in practice now for 20 years as a chiropractor, and I can tell you have seen this more and more in the last 5 years. And the issue is something where we see people in this forward head posture or neck position. And the reason why we're seeing that is because we are spending more and more time, close to 6 hours per day, just on our personal devices or phones alone. And what that does is it creates a lot of stress and a lot of problems in our upper neck and other areas in our body. So to understand the problem of neck more, we need to understand the anatomy of what's normal versus what's not. So typically what we want to see is a nice, healthy, backwards curve to the spine like this. It should look kind of like a banana shape. That's normal. The head should be over the shoulders should be back, and that backwards curve should look like this. What happens when somebody's in that forward position when they're looking at their phone or their device, their neck goes in that position. So it shifts forward. What that does right away, it puts tension on the muscles in behind the neck. It causes tension between the shoulder blades and the muscles alongside the neck, as well as at the base of the skull. And so these muscles are working really hard to keep that neck back in that upright position, while gravity is working really hard to pull forward. So it's kind of like a tug of war. And what this can lead to is a number of symptoms, including neck pain, stiffness between the shoulder blades, headaches as well as numbness and tingling down in the arms. And we're going to explore each of those right now. So to understand the impact of forward head posture on our bodies and on the different symptoms I've talked about, we need to understand what normal looks like. So this is a normal, healthy looking backwards C-shaped curve of the neck. When we're in a forward head position or a looking at our device position, our neck goes forward like that. Even just a shift of 10 to 15 degrees forward can cause there to be increased pressure or increased weight of our head. The average person's head will weigh between 10 to 12 pounds. And some of you guys might think, I know somebody else who's got much heavier head than that. But the reality is every 10 to 15 degrees that we go forward, that can increase that amount of weight by as much as 20 to 25 pounds. So for example, a 45 degree shift forward like that would cause your head to weigh the equivalent of 50 pounds. So think of how much those muscles will be working to keep your head back as much as possible, as opposed to shifting forward like this and losing to the forces of gravity. So that's why it's absolutely essential that we keep our head in that upright position. When your body starts to show symptoms, what it's trying to tell you is that there's something wrong, because healthy tissues don't typically give symptoms. And with forward head posture, we see that there are some very common ones, and the 4 most common ones are the ones I'm going to review right now. The first one being headaches. Very common for people to find that if they're in that forward head position, that they'll often experience headaches, which can lead to nausea, which can lead to visual changes. And that leads to a lot of pressure at the base of the skull and some pressure potentially at the front of the skull. So headaches are super common, not normal, but super common. The next one can be neck pain. So somebody will notice that there's tension right alongside the neck, typically on both sides, because both sides of the neck muscles are trying to work to hold that neck back in that upright position. So the muscles can be really tight. Some people call them ropey or tense. There can be pain coming from that. The third common symptom can be not just neck pain, it can extend down in between the shoulder blades because you've got the trapezius muscle that's working overtime as well, and those muscles are binding hard in order to keep that head back against the forces of gravity. So the person might notice neck pain, they might have shoulder tension as well. And the third thing that somebody might notice is over time, if they've had this issue for quite a while, when that neck is forward, the bottom part of the neck region is getting a lot of pressure on it. There's pressure on the discs as well as the joints. That causes an acceleration of the breakdown of those structures in the spine. So unfortunately, that can lead to degenerative joint disease, degenerative disc disease, or what we also know as osteoarthritis. And that can lead to a person having a lot of stiffness, soreness, difficulty with range of motion, and this can complicate things further and further. That's more of an advanced or problematic symptom compared to the other ones, but is a very common one because we are on our devices on an ongoing and regular basis. I've shared with you different symptoms that people may feel from tech neck. I think it's important now to offer you more solutions that you can start to implement. So it's one thing to know the causes of it, but let's learn how we can deal with it. There are some tips to preventing tech neck. The most obvious one I can say to you is instead of looking down like this at your device, just lift your device up higher. Put it right in front of you, and you might think that'll look funny, but at the end of the day, you're going to cause less stress and strain in through your neck region, and it's going to be far easier on you, and you won't be affected by the problems of forward head posture. The second solution is just make sure that when you're sitting down, if you're sitting looking at your device or on your computer, make sure that there's a high backrest on that chair. Ideally even a headrest, because that way you know if your head is up against the headrest, it's not in a forward position. Likewise in your vehicle when you're driving, you want to watch that that headrest isn't pushing you forward, that you can actually bring your head back to be able to touch that headrest. And that gives you a relative idea of where your neck is with respect to your shoulders and your head region. So you can use a chair that has a high back where you can have your shoulder blades resting up against it as well as your head resting up against the headrest. The third thing that you can do, the third tip, is just to get up and move. Make sure that you set a timer. You can have a pop-up reminder that comes up on your computer. Just get up and move around, stretch for a few minutes. And I've got some other videos which you can look at the end of this one where you can click on those in order to access different stretches for tech neck and office positions. So what I'd suggest you do is when you're doing your work, use a countdown timer for the work session. So set it to 30 or 40 minutes. Know that you're going to maximize that time for work. You won't extend beyond that because you're going to hold yourself accountable to get up, move around and stretch, and maybe get some water to keep hydrated. That's another video. And then sit back down at your work. Because what I've found is a lot of people will sit down and they'll work for 2 or 3 hours or more and not even realize that time has passed. They go to get up and they're so stiff and so sore. This can be remedied but just by taking breaks on a regular basis. The fourth thing that you can do is just make sure that you correct your posture. If you catch yourself being in that forward position, especially as you get tired through the day, be aware that you want to keep those ears over your shoulder. So part of standing up and then sitting back down again at your desk is to make sure that you're in a good posture position. You're not doing your work laying on a bed or sitting on a couch. You're actually at a desk that's got a firm chair with that high back and headrest ideally, and that you are using that to the best of your ability to sit up in that upright position and posture. And the fifth thing that you can do is make sure that you're exercising on a regular basis. Get out and move your body. Your body is made for movement. We're not designed to sit still, although most of our jobs require us to sit still on a regular basis. So get out and walk, get out and run, ride your bike, whatever it may be that you love, do something that you enjoy because you'll be more likely inclined to do that. And part of that is you can follow the exercise you can see down below here to mitigate the effects of tech neck and forward head posture. You can do one of these videos is about stretches that you can follow, and the other one is about strengthening exercise that you can follow. So watch those, and don't just watch them, do them. And that way you'll be able to enjoy the benefits and feel the benefits of moving your body on a regular basis. So those are 5 important tips to help prevent the effects of tech neck. Put those in your routine, and I know you'll see the difference on a daily basis. So that's it. We're all finished for today's video. Now you understand the effects of tech neck in your life and how that it can impact your quality of life as well as your health. More importantly though, you'll understand different strategies that you can implement right now to prevent tech neck. So be sure to implement those, be sure to share those with others that you know that would benefit. And until the next video, be healthy, be well, and just focus on those things that are going well in your life, because just a small improvement is leading you in that right direction. Take care until the next video.